We're now joined by South Dakota Republican Senator John Thune. Senator Thune, I want to start with something that Jim DeMint said yesterday. He called the president's jobs bill a political trap. He said, if we support it, we're in bed with him on this economy and we own it with him. If we oppose it, we give him something to run against. Too cynical of a way to look at it?
Chuck, I think all of us want to see the economy get back on track, and I think that Republicans are willing to work with the president on policies that would accomplish that. But in order to get good, permanent, good-paying jobs out there, you've got to have permanent or at least predictable good policy. And most of us have real questions about, obviously we have great questions about everything the president's done to date, but this new proposal, we think too, could be just more of the same and not lead to greater job creation and economic growth. So there's going to be, it's received, as you know, a cool response up here on Capitol Hill, not only from Republicans, but from a lot of Democrats as well.
But you said something that some people could have read into it as, you know, you could be supportive of it when you said this. I'd like to mend, improve, and modify. Okay? Mend, how would you modify the president's plan that would still maybe keep the support of the president, but get your support?
I think it's going to be really hard to take much of what the president put forward there and improve it and mend it and modify it in a way that Republicans could be for it. I do think that. What
about you? I mean, I understand that there's a whole party line, but what about what you could be for?
Same with me. I mean, I think the president touched on some things in his speech last week that Republicans took some encouragement from, and one was talking about tax reform. There's a lot of support up here among Republicans for broad-based, comprehensive tax reform that would lower rates on businesses and individuals in this country. I think the president has indicated at least a willingness to go there, but at least in this proposal that he's put forward, he's going to raise taxes to pay for it, and the payroll tax cut that he's proposed was tried last year and hasn't demonstrated to do much in terms of creating jobs, and it's another short-term thing. I think most of us want to see long-term policies, Chuck, so I think it'll be really hard to take anything that the president has put forward so far unless he's willing to move in a different direction with regard to tax reform and get much Republican support for it, and I would guess it's going to be difficult, at least with some of his Democrat allies in the Senate, to get them on board either.
I want to go to tax reform. How far? You guys don't seem that far apart on tax reform, where the president is. Everybody seems to everybody seems to be on board this idea, the general idea, you lower rates and close loopholes. So, you know, maybe I'm being too optimistic. It sounds like you guys are a lot closer than maybe you think.
I think the devil's in the details on all these things, but at least what he's saying, if he's sincere about that, yes, there are a lot of Republicans out there. We have the highest corporate tax rate in the world. It's making us non-competitive with other countries around the world. Our worldwide taxation system is different from all the other major industrialized countries who have a territorial system of taxation when it comes to business taxes. Those are all things that we believe would do a lot to get the economy growing again. I think that tax reform that broadens the base, lowers rates, could lead to significant economic growth, which is what we all want to see. But the president seems to be more intent on sort of nipping around the edges of this and doing things that are very short term in their orientation. We think we need long-term policies that create predictability, and that will help our businesses make decisions that are long-term in nature, and that will get them out there investing and creating jobs.
Is there no short-term idea out there that you want to get behind? I mean, we just got the report today, it's another 428,000 people filing claims for unemployment. It seems like there's a lot of people that would like a short-term fix, even if it's a Band-Aid right now while you're dealing with the long-term.
Right, and I think that what most people want to see is they want to see the economy recover and people go back to work. And what we've seen from the things that have been tried, that they have failed so far. The president's policies have failed when it comes to getting people back to work. We've lost 1.7 million jobs since the last stimulus bill passed. But short term, yes, let's get the trade agreements passed, let's put a moratorium on regulations, and let's at least do something on taxes that can be not only a long-term solution, but also something that I think would get businesses investing in the near term.
No government money into the economy, no speeding up the highway bill, no front-loading some transportation projects. Maybe, would you be for some of that stuff?
I think that getting a long-term highway reauthorization is really important, as is getting the FAA reauthorization through here. And those would be things that I think that there would be good bipartisan support for. So I'm not suggesting there aren't things that you couldn't do in the near term. What I'm saying is, from a business standpoint, what they need is economic certainty, and that means good long-term policies.
All right, Senator John Thune, I got to leave it there. Republican from South Dakota. Good talking with
Chuck.
you.
You too,
Okay.
Chuck. See ya.